piano. Try. Go like this one. You can
Yeah, a Russian song.
Okay, yeah, extra thing. At some point it's a minute.
We kind of reached the maximum volume. Okay. How do we do now?
The resort. Floor is curing well. We poured 3 days ago, and we kept it quite rough, the surface. First I intended to make a very polished sort of garage floor, but timing wise we didn't come out. We had a very cold night, so there was still some it was still a little bit too wet to do it with the power trowel, and the guys needed to go to another job. So I think it's better in the end, because this floor is going to suffer a bit as the walls are being built. There's a lot of stones going to be thrown around. So I think when roof is on and everything is finished, I'll do a self-leveling layer as a sort of a polished finished layer. will be better and keep it fairly rough right now. and then every other stone is kind of usable, you know. This one, it just needs one flat side, you know, so that it goes here,
Yeah.
and then you fill it up. And on the inside you need a straight line as well. And all of them have that. But
Yeah.
this is gneiss, which is the type of stone. You have granite, and you have, you know, all these types of stones. So this always splits very flat. So that's why every stone is sort of flat, right? And that's why they're able to build those roofs here.
Yeah.
Because in some parts they really break very nicely in layers. So the veins of the stone is all this direction. You know, if you try to break a big stone through the middle, it's very difficult. It will kind of like break in its own way. So quiet.
Yeah.
Nah, the fridge is fine, but complex plumbing system with a place that can freeze in winter, it's not a good idea. Mountain home should be simple. We're not in the city. So, but yeah, all these things, and now I think that chatgpt is something of the last year, I think, 2 years maybe. But it's only this year that it gets better. ChatGPT is better than YouTube and Google because it's super specific. But you need to
You
know.
don't have to search for the.
Yeah, you need to know which
video.
question to ask. Yeah, in YouTube videos, then they show how to do it, but you don't know if it's the right way.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people like us who make YouTube videos, and we're not professionals. Right?
Then you have to choose from the video you prefer, and you think it's right.
Yeah, so you watch many of them, and you read the comments, and then you can kind of. But you need to be smart to understand, like, all right, this is not a good video. That's a good video. So.
Is that ChatGPT is always right?
No, not
no.
always. I put in the chassis number of the Pajero, and it gave a wrong model.
Okay.
So it's, but I think it's all about the prompt. It's like write a very long question. I'm gonna do this. Explain where you are. Explain situation. If you build outside, describe your climate, size, dimensions of what you're building. Then ChatGPT can understand. All right, yeah, this is what he's doing. It is amazing. And ChatGPT gives also an answer. Like it makes a whole text. If you ask a lot of questions in that whole paragraph, what you write in ChatGPT, all the things you take in consideration about the job you're doing, explain how you want it and how precise and what material you think you use. Explain also the things you're not sure about. Ask about what kind of mistakes could I make in this sort of situation that I'm building. Ask about that. What are common mistakes about this very small topic? And then ChatGPT is going to be your teacher. It's going to make a whole essay about that. Like, all right, this is how you can do it. Maybe look at these kind of YouTube videos to teach yourself, and it's super.
Yes, and there is also, I think, an explanation and the reason why choose this explanation is it's crazy that it seems to be a human being that is responding.
Yeah. Well, in the end, it is.
I think so.
It is. It's taking sources from what people wrote down.
It's incredible.
It's just the speed and the cleverness that it can just grab from all kind of different
Put all
sources.
together.
Yeah. Yeah. Today's job is simpler.
Yep.
Picking up rocks.
That's it.
How to pick up rocks without hurting your back. That's what I Google now.
Okay, hier?
Ja.
Ah, in fondo.
Ja.
Okay, right? This one gonna
And
be
then
too
the other
big,
one,
so
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
cut these to size.
Yeah.
Needs to be like that. Oh really?
Yes.
Alright, I'll drill it bigger. Try it. A little more, huh?
Step by step.
Yeah. What you use, you put some bolts already on, and then when you screw them off, you fix the thread at the end. Right? So now you feel some resistance, but you clean it up.
Yeah.
But you don't need it.
Yes. We have a new one.
Yeah. Right? If you tighten it.
Yeah.
You have the wrenches over there? Or?
Yes.
Good. yeah, it's simple work, you know, you don't have to think about, well, sometimes you think about if it's a 90-degree corner or not.
Yeah.
And no. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very nice day.
Right. Did a little bit of work on the road. We didn't have much time left. But that's actually, we were talking about it. It's actually good to have a bad road because it's harder for thieves to come here. Because there were some break-ins in the valley I heard about. Different houses, but it's all on the same road. And I think the worst situation is that you have a remote house nearby a city but on a good access road. So there's a lot of crime, usually near cities. But if you can come in fast and go away fast with a normal car, it's the worst situation. If you come here, you're gonna be stuck on this road for a while until you're gone. So a lot of things going on this week, a lot of help. Finally started the workshop, or continued. I didn't do much heavy work because of my back, so it's really great to have the guys here to do concrete floor and collecting a lot of stone material for the walls. It's been taking a very long time. The bureaucratic obstacles. I don't talk much about it here on the channel, but if you speak to your neighbors, it's always what it's about. It's very complex, things take a long time, and basically, in short, there's 2 building permits, restoration permit for the houses, which is quite straightforward because it is an existing building. I don't change anything to the structure and the amount of windows and door openings. It's also already a residential category. For example, if you want to change it from a ruin to a house, or from a agricultural, like a barn, into a residency, there's much more paperwork involved. It's more complicated. So that's pretty straightforward. And then this is a permit for a new building, a garage. And there's a lot of rules involved. I had to become part of a building company, so I'm a bricklayer now. And there's a lot of people involved in the behind the scenes, like an architect, geometer, structural engineer, building company, another geometer, director of the works, which is the architect. So yeah, all these people, they need to be paid, and they're part of the books, part of the game, how it's been played here. It's very confusing, which I remember from the start, because I feel this is kind of a sort of an abstract understanding of how things work here, compared to Northern Europe, where I come from, the more progressive countries where the law and reality is closer together. If I speak to a neighbor here, I sometimes say, like, if you follow the rules here for 70%, it's all good, it's all fine, accept it. And I always get the answer, no, it's much lower. And you get the feeling, because the legislation here and restrictions and laws for every little thing are just up there, and reality just kind of flows underneath it. People are just doing whatever. I'll give a small example of how complicated things sometimes are. Like 2 years ago, I was working on this painting and I sold it, and I needed to sell it. And I shipped it through, what was it, DHL or something. And in the papers of the packaging, I wrote down painting. And it bounced back all of the time, because I needed paperwork from the superintendents and art institutions that need to register the painting into the books. So you need to kind of get a permit to ship your painting. You need to pay a fee, paperwork, stamps, approval, and then you can ship your painting. And when I discussed that with Italians, they were saying, oh, you shouldn't write painting on the package, just something like documents. And it's a good example of how things work. It's just because for everything you need registrations and paperwork, and it can pile up. It takes time, costs money, and it's endless. And I also found that out the first days when I came here looking for something to buy, and meeting with real estate agents, having conversations with them, like, all right, with this house, what is generally allowed to do, what will they give building permits for, what are you allowed to do yourself, and what can you do with the landscape, etc. And the answers were always different. It was always so random and confusing, because a lot of things are just being done in between, following half of the rules. And I'm a guest here, so I have to behave, I have to follow the rules, and I have a YouTube channel where everything is publicly shared, every detail, so everything needs to be done by the book. And I'm glad all of that is now sort of approved, and yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm very excited. I'm looking at a big pile of stones, so I think next week will be the first stone being laid off the walls. Very curious how fast it will go, because building a new building, a lot of things are much easier than a restoration. Restoration is just puzzling and working into corners, like pouring the concrete floor in downstairs there is much more difficult than just here, where you have space and everything is open. So I'm excited to start next week. Hopefully some better weather. We had a really nice day yesterday, but it's been very wet here and cold too. I heard Northern Europe was incredibly dry, so it's quite it's the opposite this spring. But yeah.